You know what's strange? One day you just stop. Stop caring about the things that used to drive you crazy. Stop getting worked up while everyone else is panicking. And suddenly you're the weird one because you just don't react like a normal person anymore. Welcome to spiritual awakening. And no, I'm not talking about crystals or burning sage. I'm talking about that subtle transformation where you wake up one day and realize you've been operating on a completely different frequency than everyone else. And honestly, it's kind of isolating. Because while everyone's panicking about things that feel small, you're over here wondering why you can't just go back to caring about whether your coworker liked your email signature. Here's what actually happens when you become spiritually awake and why it makes you feel like an alien at your own family reunion. First off, you stop taking things personally, like at all. Someone insults you? Cool. They're probably projecting. Your friend flakes on plans for the third time? Annoying, sure, but you're not spiraling into they must hate me territory. Psychologists call this emotional detachment, but it's not cold, it's just clear. You've realized that most of what people do has absolutely nothing to do with you and everything to do with their own chaos. And once you see that, you can't unsee it. Suddenly, you're the person everyone calls chill or zen, and they mean it as a compliment. But you know it's also code for slightly unsettling because they don't react like normal humans. Then there's the whole thing where you lose interest in drama. Remember when you used to love a good gossip session, when analyzing someone's Instagram post for hidden meanings was peak entertainment? Yeah, that's gone now. You'll be sitting there while your friends dissect why Jessica didn't reply to the group chat. And you're just blank, not judging them, not feeling superior, just genuinely unable to summon the energy to care. Because spiritually awake, people operate from this place of everyone's doing their best with what they know, which sounds nice in theory but makes you terrible at girls' night. But here's where it gets wild. You start seeing patterns everywhere. Not in a conspiracy theory way, more like you notice how everyone's running the same scripts. Your dad's angry outburst. That's just fear wearing a louder mask. Your partner's sudden coldness. Probably shame they don't know how to articulate. You've developed this annoying superpower where you can see past people's surface behaviors straight into the wounded child underneath. And look, that's great for empathy, but it also means you can't enjoy a reality TV show anymore because all you see is trauma responses and attachment issues. The loneliness hits different too. Not the I have no friends kind. The I have friends but we're speaking different languages now kind. They're stressed about promotions and you're contemplating the impermanence of all things. You try to explain this and you get blank stares, so you learn to just nod along while they vent about problems that feel temporary. And you're not trying to be condescending, but now it's like watching someone panic over a puzzle you've already solved. Then comes the phase where you're weirdly okay with being alone. And I don't mean lonely, I mean you actively choose solitude over forcing connections that don't fit anymore. Spiritually awake people need silence, like other people need social validation. Because in that silence, you're not spiraling or overthinking, you're just existing. Researchers studying meditation and mindfulness found that people who regularly practice these states show increased activity in brain regions associated with self awareness and decreased activity in areas linked to anxiety. Basically, your brain's learned that peace is available whenever you want it. So, why would you trade that for small talk at a networking event? And here's the kicker: you've stopped trying to convince anyone of anything. You used to get into debates, defend your viewpoints, need people to understand where you're coming from. Now, someone disagrees with you, and you're like, okay, cool. Because you've realized that everyone's exactly where they need to be on their own journey, and your job isn't to drag them to your perspective. This makes you an incredibly frustrating person to argue with, by the way. People want you to fight back, and you're just over there. Like, you're probably right while internally knowing you've moved past needing to be right. But the weirdest part? You're not unhappy. Everyone around you is stressed, anxious, chasing the next thing, and you're just here, present, grateful for boring Tuesdays, finding meaning in your morning coffee. And people don't get it. They think you're either lying about being content or you've given up on ambition. But the truth is, you've just redefined what success means. It's not about achieving anymore, it's about aligning, not about getting somewhere, it's about being fully wherever you are. So if you're reading this and nodding along, feeling seen, and more aware of the times you've been the only calm one, while everyone else spirals and wondered why you're the only one not swept up, it's normal. Hit like if you've been there, and tell me in the comments about that moment you felt the weird mix of clarity and isolation at the same time. If you want more of these truths no one talks about, subscribe and you'll get them right here. And look, that doesn't mean you've won at life or you're better than anyone. Some call it enlightenment, some call it social suicide. Either way, you're on a different instruction manual now, and you've stopped pretending you need theirs.